All right, here we go. Okay, so here is what I'm going to do in this call. I have a prediction as to who is going to win the 2020 election for President of the United States. Now, before I go any further on this, I want to kind of let you in on a couple of things about me. So in a moment, I am going to reveal who's going to win the election on Tuesday or whenever they decide to get all the election results to us. I want you to understand a couple things about me. I am looking at this purely from a marketing perspective. Okay, I would consider myself more of a constitutionalist. I have voted both sides of the aisles consistently in my life. I am purely looking at this from the perspective of understanding the power of movements, influence, persuasion, and human nature. My goal with this video is very simple, is I want to help educate you to understand how to utilize this within your practice, your business, if you are a different business owner. I know I have quite a few different business owners that follow me on this stuff. So, and I'm basing a lot of this on a book called The True Believer, which President Eisenhower said that was one of the most influential books of the 1950s. And what he did is he actually studied the concept of movements and things of that nature. And what I believe what we are witnessing right now is we are witnessing one of the greatest marketing lessons in a long, long time. And so let's go ahead and dive onto this. So what I want to do is I want you to think about some of the iconic brands that have rabid followers, okay? The iconic brands that have rabid followers today, Starbucks, right? I remember, back when we could travel, finding a Starbucks on the road was like, heaven. Now they're ubiquitous, they're everywhere. Chick-fil-A, a lot of people, I'm one included. When I'm traveling on the road and I need to get some fast food, I'll only eat at Chick-fil-A. Disney, I have a couple of friends of mine that are like rabid Disney people. They'll do anything for Disney. When Disney reopened after COVID, they were first in line. They didn't care. They wanted to be back at Disney. Star Wars, comic books, Star Trek, college football teams. I'm a rabid LSU fan. I will rearrange my schedule for anything LSU Tiger football or pretty much anything LSU sports related. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Cup fans, you name it. Okay, so we can all think of these things that we get overly passionate about that has absolutely no sense of reason whatsoever. These followers will go anywhere. They will do anything. They live, breathe, and die on how their team or their brand performs. And they'll defend them until the nth degree. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand. I want you to have that. I want your core customer to have that same unbridled passion for you, your brand, and what you believe in. This is very, very important. Now, so let's talk about the election. So I want you to, what I'm about to talk about here is in total relation to the election. But before we talk about the 2020 election, let's talk about the election of 2012 when Obama got reelected. Now, statistically, if you look at this purely statistically, in 2012, Obama was ripe to be voted out of office. His approval rating was below 45%. No sitting president ever in the history of the republic had ever won re-election with such a low approval rating. Yet, he soundly beat Mitt Romney. It was over by 9:30. I remember when they called Ohio for Obama, and people were stunned that it was over that quickly. We were talking about this thing going into the night and possibly going into a contentious thing. But here's the thing. Republicans were not enthusiastic about Mitt. He had a lot of great qualities, but nobody was really excited about Mitt. Nobody, I don't think anybody these days is really excited about Mitt. Republicans weren't excited about voting for Mitt. They were voting against Obama. No one, I don't know of any Republican, and a lot of my friends are Republicans, a lot of the circles that I move in are Republicans or Libertarian. I don't know of anybody that went, where's my Mitt Romney sign? Where's my Mitt Romney Paul Ryan t-shirt? We're all like, well, guess I'm going to vote for Mitt because I really don't want to vote for the other guy, right? And yet that election was over very, very quickly. If you think about this too, in 2016, there was kind of some equal fervor, but people weren't like overly excited about Hillary, aside from the fact that she was the first female to be nominated by a major party to run for president. There was a small core, but there wasn't like this massive core. Remember, Hillary couldn't put 5,000, she couldn't put a couple thousand people into a rally, and the only way she could get 5,000 people in was to bring in Lady Gaga into a midnight rally in Raleigh, which was mostly college students who didn't vote in that area, okay? So you have that same similarity, kind of the flip side. Now, if we look at the 2020 Democratic primaries, Biden couldn't put away Bernie, as I like to call him, free stuff, Bernie free stuff Sanders. And if it wasn't for COVID, there was a pretty good chance that we were going to have the primary goes all the way to the convention and we wind up having a brokered convention. Remember, Biden was having a very difficult time putting Bernie away. Bernie had the passion, right? Bernie had people that were passionate about him. They believed in the message. People were never really all that excited about Biden. In fact, quite frankly, a lot of my Democratic friends and people that I know that are Democrats, and I move in both circles, I don't know really anybody that's overly excited about Biden. But again, that's just my circle of people. So now I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a major swing state. It always is. Every 2 years, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars in this state. And I'm on the border of South Carolina. So Charlotte's at the bottom of North Carolina. So we get a lot of South Carolina radio and things of that nature. And so we're just getting inundated, right? And the other night, I was at my son's lacrosse practice. And so there's probably about 100 parents there. There's probably about 200 kids, and we're all watching. There's a couple of fields going on, and Air Force One flew over, and the 100 or so parents and kids in attendance, they erupted in a cheering frenzy. That same night, Trump put 15,000 people into an outdoor rally in Gastonia, North Carolina, about 20 miles away from downtown Charlotte, where that same night at the same time, Kamala Harris put 150 people into an outdoor rally in downtown Charlotte. Okay, now Charlotte is a Democratic hotbed. We have a Democratic mayor, we have a Democratic city council, we overwhelmingly vote like 70% Democrat in all the elections, okay? Earlier that day, Biden had 50 people at a rally in Raleigh. This is another hotbed of Democratic support. There are 3 major universities right there. You have Duke, Chapel Hill, and NC State. It is the hub of its state. It's the state capital. A lot of state government jobs, et cetera, et cetera. Big time skew Democrat. Okay, and he only had 50 people at the rally. Every day, I see pictures. I see news reels of boat rallies, car parades, people standing on overpasses holding Trump signs. I never see one for Biden. If I drive around the city, I see Trump hats, shirts, banners, signs, and the signs I see are 5-1 over Biden. See, here's the thing. People aren't voting for Biden. They're voting against Trump. Now, for the most part, like I said, the Biden supporters that I know are not thrilled with their candidate. They just want Trump gone. And while certainly the desire to remove somebody creates a tremendous amount of passion, but I believe that the passion for the belief is greater, okay? You know, there's a couple of other things. Trump understands the power of one message, one market, one offer. This is one of the core tenets of what I teach. How long has Trump been running the banner, Make America Great Again? Okay? That's still the theme. Do you know what Biden says? I've seen like 5. Build Back Better. I still can't say that one. Anyway, you know, and Hillary was having the same problem. She kept changing her theme. She kept changing her slogan. It looks to me like Biden can't make up his mind what to say. So if I look at this purely from a marketer standpoint, who looks at the power of movements, influence, persuasion, I think Trump wins. Okay. Now, some of you are going to post some garbage beneath there and you're going to call me a racist or whatever. You're missing the point. You're completely missing the point. That is not the point of what I'm sharing with you. What I'm sharing with you is if you are watching this election, you are not watching any election and basing it on the power of messaging, having one market, one message, one offer. And if you aren't watching the power and studying the power of creating a fever-feeding frenzy for your brand, for your name, for what you do, then you are missing the boat. If you are letting your opinion about one of the candidates get in position of that, about how you're going to vote, I'm going to say, into your analysis of this, then you're missing a golden opportunity as a marketer. This is one of the reasons why I study political movements. I come from a very politically active family, so it's kind of been ingrained in me since an early age. But I will tell you this. If you go back through and you look at people who get elected, it's because they create this sense of a great movement. of making true believers. And those true believers are the ones that become infectious and carry them over the top. So I understand I probably just pissed off 50% of you because I said Trump was going to win. Again, I'm looking at it from the movement standpoint. So here's my question for you. In your business and your livelihood, what are your customers so passionate about that it will make them stand in line overnight just for a chance to buy your service or product? That's what you want to create. That's what you want to do. That's the real lesson today in this crazy political season. All right. Well, the good news is hopefully for this, praying to God, this whole thing is going to be done next week at this time. And we'll be back and we're going to be analyzing what went wrong and what went right and all that other good stuff. So there you go. That's who I think is going to win. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you soon.